This is my first video update coming to you from Napa, Cyprus on this Saturday morning. Let's talk about some news and let's discuss Elon Musk, Twitter, and a little bit of Starlink. So Elon Musk, as I'm sure everybody knows, he finalized his purchase of Twitter. He now owns the social network platform, and he tweeted out something like the bird is free or something like that the other day, and his first day as owner of Twitter, what Elon Musk did is he fired a bunch of people. He fired the CEO, he fired the CFO, he fired that lawyer who was like the chief censorship person at Twitter. He fired her as well. She was the one that was on Joe Rogan with Tim Pool and Jack Dorsey. Anyway, he fired a bunch of people. He has his Tesla engineers looking at the source code. From what I understand, he's going to open up the source code. He's going to open up the algorithm. He's going to let all of us know how the Twitter algorithm suppresses speech, how it amplifies other voices, how it shadow bans. He let a bunch of suspended accounts back on the platform, though I'm not sure exactly which canceled and suspended accounts he let on. I think Kanye West was suspended for a couple of days, and I think he's back on Twitter. There are a lot of big accounts that I'm very curious to see if Musk is going to allow them back on the platform. For example, Project Veritas, Alex Jones. Of course, the big one is President Trump, who was censored on Twitter, on all social media platforms. A U.S. president censored in his own country. Think about that one for a bit, and it's incredible. Even to this day, I think about that. I'm like, my God. And the U.S. lectures the world on human rights and free speech when they deplatformed a U.S. president. Anyway, Trump has not, I don't think he's weighed in on this, has he? Or if he has weighed in, he's kind of hinted at the fact that he's going to remain on Truth Social for the time being. But I imagine if Musk opens up his Twitter account, that Trump is just going to, it's going to be too irresistible for Trump to not jump in. That's my thoughts on it. And I don't see why you can't have an active account on Truth Social and an active account on Twitter. Actually, if Trump does go back to Twitter, it would be a good way for him to promote Truth Social because he has a huge following on Twitter. So I think Trump should get back on Twitter if the opportunity is presented to him, and I think he should get on Twitter and use it not only to speak freely, but also to promote Truth Social. Will Twitter remain free and open? Probably for like the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 years. I imagine that Twitter's going to be pretty fun, actually. Maybe the Duran will get back on Twitter because we voluntarily closed our account on Twitter. We left Twitter voluntarily, so maybe we'll get back involved on Twitter. If we do, I'll let everybody know. But I think for the next couple of years, Twitter will be a free speech platform. It'll be pretty fun. I wonder if Twitter's going to affect the other big tech social media platforms. I wonder if it's going to have an effect on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, or platforms like that. TikTok. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be inspired, swayed to be a little more free speech after seeing how Musk runs Twitter. That'll be interesting to watch. But I think after a couple of years that the deep state, they're going to want to try to get their hands back on Twitter. They're going to try to want to cause trouble for Musk and try to get control of Twitter again. So for the next couple of years, I think everyone is safe on Twitter, but the deep state, the neolibs, the neocons, all the people that love to censor, that love censorship, they're not going to let this go, and they're going to try to get that platform back, and they're going to attack Elon Musk. The good part is that Elon Musk so far is, in these first few days, has stayed true to his words. The bad part is that they're going to come after Elon Musk, and they're going to come after him very, very hard. And I think one of the things that Elon Musk did in order to push back the Biden White House and the censorship forces is that he decided to keep Starlink open. So I think that Musk may have made some sort of backroom deal with the Biden White House, telling them, look, don't go after me with regards to Twitter. Just lay off of me for a while, and I'll keep Starlink open for NATO and for Ukraine, and I'll continue to fund Starlink. I'm gonna lay off my my requests for the Pentagon to pay me however many billions to keep Starlink open for Ukraine. I'll lay off of that if you lay off of me with regards to Twitter. And Elon Musk did tweet something to a Ukrainian government official the other day, something along the lines of that government official was asking Musk what he's going to do about Starlink. And Elon Musk said, don't worry, SpaceX and Starlink, we're going to keep, SpaceX is going to keep Starlink open for the Ukraine military. So maybe there was some sort of deal worked out there. Dmitry Medvedev, he tweeted, good luck, Elon Musk, in overcoming political bias and ideological dictatorship on Twitter, and quit that Starlink in Ukraine business. Medvedev knows. He knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows that Starlink is now just a tool of the Pentagon and the military-industrial complex. This is not a consumer communication system. This is a tool of war. This is a tool that has now been hijacked by the U.S. military, and the U.S. military is not going to give this tool back. Now that they've got it, they're going to use it, and they're not only going to use it in Ukraine, they're going to use it in other places. Actually, I think the Biden White House is trying to get the military to use it in Iran, and they're trying to get Starlink set up in Iran so they could continue to push regime change there. So everyone knows what Starlink is. Elon Musk understands that his Starlink dream is shattered, has been stolen by the deep state and the MIC. But I think he's going to use Starlink as a tool to gain a little bit of leverage over the warmongers, so that they can give him a little bit of breathing room with regards to Twitter. So that is the news with Elon Musk and his purchase of Twitter. Everyone in the collective West that's aligned with the neoliberal, neocon ideology, they're all freaking out. But let's hope that Elon Musk manages to keep Twitter open and free. I wish him the absolute best. Since we're talking about free speech, let's talk about protests and the right to protest. And the people of the Czech Republic, bravo. Good job to everyone in Prague and in the Czech Republic, because yesterday they had massive protests. I don't even know the number. Anyone that knows the number or was actually in attendance, if you're watching this video, let me know in the comments down below how many people attended, or at least what the reports are with regards to attendance at this protest. This is the medieval bell tower here, and this is I think down here is the monastery in Napa as well. But a lot of people turned up for these protests in Prague, and what are they protesting? Well, they're protesting inflation, cost of living, energy crisis, electricity crisis, sanctions, support for the Zelensky regime, the war in Ukraine. They want it all to stop. They want it all to stop because the people are not stupid. The people understand that all of their problems, or a big portion of their problems with regards to inflation and energy costs, cost of living, all of these things are due to the sanctions placed on Russia. No one is buying this dumb narrative anymore from the leaders of the collective West that all of our economic problems are because Russia invaded Ukraine. No one is buying that. And people went out on the streets to show that they don't buy into that dumb narrative. Everyone knows that it was the sanctions, the 9 sanctions packages that are causing all this economic hardship. And now they're moving on to a 10th sanctions package, and people are fed up. They want the government to resign in Czech Republic. And keep in mind, it was the people of the Czech Republic who started off the protests a couple of weeks ago. They're the ones that got everything moving. The medieval square bell tower. This is a fantastic sculpture, isn't it? I like it. Very nice area here. So, yeah, big protests. Good on the people of the Czech Republic. They absolutely know what's up, and they're not friendly to Russia. They're not allied to Russia. They're just using common sense. We don't have to be allies with Russia. We don't even have to be friends, but it doesn't mean we have to be adversaries and we have to sanction them to oblivion in some hope that we're going to get some sort of regime change in Moscow to our detriment. We don't have to be allies, but we can still trade and coexist and work together. That is what the people understand, and that's why they're protesting. They want the government to resign. Speaking about money to Ukraine, the Biden White House, they approved the 24th weapons drawdown, this little weapons package drawdown mechanism that they have. And they've approved this for the 24th time, sending 275 billion. Million. 275 billion. 275 million. It'll probably reach 275 billion by the time this is all over. But they sent 275 million more in weapons to Ukraine mostly in the form of ammunition and ammo for like the HIMARS and stuff like that. But you can see how with every drawdown the Biden White House is making, it's getting less and less because the U.S. is being demilitarized. That's exactly what's happening here. So many countries now have been demilitarized in Europe. Greece and Bulgaria and Germany and Poland, all these countries are running out of weapons if they haven't already run out. And even the U.S. is starting to run out. And the Pentagon is, they're raising warning flags. They're saying, Bidenopolis, Greece's favorite son, you need to stop because we're actually running low. And we used to have like 2 billion to Ukraine, and then it went to like 1 billion, and then it went to like 700 million, and now it's at 275 million. So they're running out as well. And the next package, we'll see. Maybe the next package will be 100 million. Maybe it'll be a little bit more, but either way, the general trend is not hockey stick up. It's sloping down. So we're going to enter now the nightclub area. This is where people come to party it up in Ayia Napa. This is Red Square Bar here. We have some pretty cheesy bars, but during the high season, the tourist high season, it's a lot of people here getting drunk and partying. So if you're in Ayia Napa and you wanna get drunk, this is the place to come. Let's see here. So that's Biden sending more weapons to Ukraine. Stoltenberg, the NATO chief, he's still the head of NATO, though his time is running out. Someone new is going to replace him. Maybe Liz Truss. I've heard Chrystia Freeland of Canada. I've heard Boris Johnson. Maybe Liz Truss will replace Stoltenberg. Boris Johnson is not. He's doing a tour of America. He's running around Washington, D.C., lobbying for more money to his BFF, Zelensky. But Stoltenberg said, we cannot let Putin win. It would be a catastrophe, a tragedy for the Ukrainians, but it would also make us NATO members more vulnerable, the Secretary General said. Yeah, NATO has bet everything on Ukraine, absolutely everything. And it's going to really suck when they lose. Like when they really lose outright, it's going to be a real big embarrassment. Maybe that's why they're pushing so hard for nukes in Finland, because that'll offset the big loss that NATO's about to get at the hands of Russia in Ukraine. They are going to get a spanking. That's inevitable. So anyway, this is the Pirates nightclub. You can see the Johnny Depp statue right there. Perhaps it should be a statue of Ursula, I think, because the EU, well, they're a bunch of pirates, aren't they? Stealing assets and foreign currency reserves. So instead of Johnny Depp, maybe they should put Vander Crazy up there. That's actually a popular club, the Pirates Club, and here we are, Bedrock, the Bedrock Club, Yabba Dabba Doo. Any Flintstone fans out there? Let's see, I bet you never thought that we would be talking geopolitics while visiting clubs named Pirates and Bedrock, huh? I never thought I'd be doing this. Anyway, what did Borrell say about the Nord Stream 2 investigation? Borrell said that the chief foreign policy guy of the European Union said, the investigation into the explosions at Nord Stream 2 has not yet been completed as it is hampered by the great depth. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's hampered by that great depth. It's going to remain deep for a long time, isn't it, Borrell? You're just not going to be able to investigate anything because it's so deep down there. Not deep enough to stop explosives from being placed down there, though, huh? It's too deep to investigate, but it's not too deep to blow up, is it? So the Russians, going back to Starlink, so the Russians warned a couple of days ago, they sent out a message to the collective West, I guess you could say. And they said that any like civilian communication structure, civilian satellites that are being used to kill Russian soldiers, to escalate this war, are fair game. They can be targeted. And and they were talking about Starlink, obviously. You know, what else are they talking about? You know, communication systems that are kind of satellite communication systems that are kind of civilian oriented. It's Starlink. Titanic Club. You could put an EU flag here as well, huh? Titanic Club, European Union. Oh boy, I'm taking a piss at the EU today. So they sent out this message to the collective West, basically telling them, look, if Starlink continues to meddle in this war, we have the right to target it. And yeah, absolutely. But then Kirby, one of the, I think he's like a spokesperson for the State Department or something like that. He has this massive title, John Kirby. Like this huge title at the Biden White House. Anyway, he came back and he said, if you guys touch Starlink, then we're going to retaliate. And so, you know, there we are. Does that not prove that Starlink has been completely hijacked by the military-industrial complex? Why is it okay for the collective West to blow up pipelines and it's not okay for Russia to target satellites? Just a thought. Satellites that are actively a part of the conflict, like infrastructure that's being used in the conflict. Why can't Russia target that? But the collective West can blow up pipelines. I don't know. It just goes to show that Putin is right. It's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for others to do it. So, what else? The mobilization activity is complete. Putin and Shoigu, they came out with some numbers. Well, Shoigu, he released some numbers. And what we have is, with regards to the partial mobilization, the average age of those called up is 35. Let's see, 13,000 volunteers have joined the 300,000 mobilized without receiving a summons. 218,000 troops are in training, and 82,000 are already active on-duty personnel. 82,000. Boy, when all those troops are all trained up, and ready to go. Look out. Look out. Big things are going to happen. Big things are coming. So that was Shoigu reporting to Putin that the partial mobilization is all wrapped up. Of course, the collective West is going to say that it was a failure. But we're going to see on the battlefield exactly how much of a failure it was, if it was a success or if it was a failure. It's all going to show. It's going to show in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, whether this partial mobilization was a good idea or a bad idea. The truth will come out, and it'll show on the front lines. You can bet on it. Do I have any more stories here before we get to very interesting clown world? I think it's an interesting clown world. Reparations. This is an interesting story, and I'll wrap it up with this. So Poland, once again, is telling Germany to pay them 1.3 trillion in World War II reparations. And Poland is also demanding that assets that were seized during that time period also be returned to Poland as well. Germany is saying, no, we don't. We've already settled everything. That's what Germany's saying. That's their line, is we've already settled whatever we needed to settle, so we don't take these reparation claims seriously. Greece, Mitsotakis in Greece, they're also now hounding Germany for reparations. So Mitsotakis wants something like 280 billion, 300 billion in reparations from Germany as well. And once again, Schultz, he told Mitsotakis, he said, buzz off. We've already... these guys are yelling, and it kind of threw me off. One sec. It happens sometimes. It happens when you do these walking news stories. Sometimes you just get thrown off when people are like yelling or just, I don't know, just sometimes knocks out your concentration. So Mitsotakis, he wants 300 billion in reparations from Germany. And Germany, Schultz, he told Mitsotakis, buzz off, we've already settled this. This is a closed case, reparations for Greece for World War II. And I was just thinking to myself, yes, there is some domestic politics at play in Poland and Greece. I mean, it looks good on the domestic front. Play up to your base, to the voters, and say, look, you see, I'm pressing for reparations, and I'm pressing Germany to pay us back for what happened during World War II. That's fine. I can see that. That's one of the reasons why all of a sudden these reparations have been resurfaced, because this has been going on for a while now, but all of a sudden they're coming back up again. But I think there's another two more important reasons why we're hearing a lot of talk about German reparations to other countries, specifically Poland and Greece at the same time. The first reason is that these countries are broke and they're looking for money. Right? Okay, there you go. They want money. And so they're saying, where can we find money? Well, Germany's down, so let's kick them while they're down. And let's see if we can manage to grab a couple of billion from Germany while they're led by a weak and vulnerable chancellor and a bunch of green ideologues, green warmonger ideologues in Habeck and Annalena. So I think that's another reason, is that Greece and Poland are just kind of looking under the sofa cushions, looking for money wherever they can find it. But an even more important reason as to why they're pressing Germany for reparations is because the deep state, the United States, they control Poland and Greece full, from top to bottom. They own Poland and Greece, and I think they're pressing Poland and Greece to bring up the reparations thing again at the same time, because this is kind of like a humiliation practice, a humiliation thing for Germany, you know? One of the main planks of this war with Ukraine is not only the destruction, the regime change of Russia, it's also the destruction of Germany. That's one of the purposes of this conflict in Ukraine. It's, you know, to keep Russia out, to keep the U.S. in, and to keep Germany down. And you know, the Germany down part of it is something that we've been seeing playing out over the past couple of months, whether it's deindustrialization or something like reparations, which is kind of, you know, you're bringing up, you know, you're opening up this old wound, you know, embarrassing Germany, humiliating them, and pressing them for money for something, you know, for World War II. And you keep on bringing this up, and it's just kind of like, you know, you see, we're going to continue to humiliate you. We're going to continue to look to squeeze you, to get whatever we can out of you. This is the Future Museum at the monastery of Ayia-Napa. It's going to be a future museum. So yeah, I think that's another reason why you have all of this reparations talk all of a sudden. A lot of it has to do with humiliating Germany and the German people. You have to continue to push them down. You know, it's deindustrialize, destroy their industry, destroy their business, but also destroy their confidence, their psyche. So yeah, get Greece and get Poland. You know, they're gonna do whatever you ask them to do. So get Greece and Poland to bring up the reparations and to hound Scholz. And Scholz is a weak chancellor, and you know, he's okay. I'll look into the reparations. I mean, I don't want to give you guys money, and this has already been settled. But you know, just leave me alone. You know, that's Scholz. You know, he's just kind of, you know, a weakling, right? He's only tough when he talks to Trudeau. That's what I say. What do you think, Mr. Cat? Do you like Scholz? Not so much. How about Trudeau? You like Trudeau? No, you don't like Trudeau. Bidenopoulos? You like Bidenopoulos? No? Yeah, I thought so. Let's do a clown world. I'm in a weird mood today. Let's do a quick cloud world. Let's see here. There's a story floating around about a football match between Dynamo Kiev and AEK. Now, I say AEK because I want to clarify something. AEK. There's two AEK teams that play in this region. There's one AEK, which plays in Greece. And there's another AEK, which is called AEK Larnaca, which plays in Cyprus. Two different football clubs, but sometimes people get them confused. I sometimes get them confused, even though AEK in Greece is the much bigger. I mean, we're talking about a much bigger, more successful football club. But anyway, there was news going around that it was AEK in Greece that had a little run-in with Ukraine Dynamo Kiev fans during a Europa League match. And what happened is that these Dynamo Kiev fans that were playing AEK Larnaca, not AEK Greece, AEK Larnaca. I forgot to say, it wasn't AEK Greece, AEK Larnaca. What happened is that these Dynamo Kiev fans, they wanted to roll out these to show banners during the match, which said stuff like Russia is I don't know, evil, and they're killing people, Zelensky's king, and I don't know, just stuff like that, right? Political messaging about the conflict in Ukraine and how bad Russians are. And the fans wanted to display this at the stadium. They were playing AEK Cyprus in Larnaca, not AEK in Greece, because a lot of the telegram messages were saying Greek football fans and Greek football club. That is wrong. It was the Cypriot AEK, not the Greek AEK, the Cypriot AEK. And the Greek AEK is connected to Constantinople, while the Cypriot AEK is connected to the Kition, the K. So they're two different clubs. They have the same initials, but two different football clubs, two different meanings. And the football match, this Europa League match, was between Dynamo Kiev in Larnaca playing against AEK Larnaca. And the fans, they wanted to put out these political messages. And what happened is that what are they called? The stewards? The people that monitor the stadium where the fans sit. I think they're called the stewards. Anyway, they came out and they pulled down the signs that were critical of Russians. Now, the Ukraine media says that these stadium officials that pulled down the signs that were saying nasty things about Russians, that they told the fans that they have to take these signs down because there's Russian mafia at the match and they don't like it. The media here is saying pretty much that that's not what happened. They're saying that Europa League rules say that you can't have political messages displayed at the stadiums. And so the stadium officials, they were just doing their job by taking down these political messages during the match. So those are the two different narratives. So it wasn't a Greek football club. It wasn't AEK in Greece that was playing Dynamo Kiev. It wasn't even in Greece. This was taking place in Larnaca, in Cyprus, a match between Dynamo Kiev and AEK Larnaca at the stadium in Larnaca. And I believe that the stadium officials were taking down these signs because they were told that you can't have any political messaging during football matches. I doubt that these stadium officials went to these fans, these Ukrainian fans, and told them there's Russian oligarchs here and Russian mafia here, so they don't like it, so we have to take down these fans. Once again, propaganda. I think that's a bunch of BS. I know Cyprus. I know what's going on here. Maybe it's true. I don't buy it, though. I think the stadium officials were just following Europa League rules. That's all. And that's the clown world. And that is the video. This is the I love Ayia Napa sign right here. Everyone takes their photo in front of this. And then they post it on Instagram. All right, that's the video, everybody. Kind of a clown world. Maybe it's not a clown world. I don't know. I thought it was a funny story. We'll leave it there. By the way, you know, if you're going to play a football match in Cyprus, you got to understand one thing. Cyprus has the Cyprus people, not the government, and the Greek people for that matter, not the government. You know, we have a very close relationship with Russia. We have a close relationship with Ukraine and Belarus as well, with all Orthodox countries, but there's a very large Russian population here, and you know, in general, Greeks and Cypriots, they don't like to see people bashing Russia. In general, they just don't like that. It's not our thing. We don't like to see that stuff. So yeah, we're not going to like signs like that. Anyway, that's the clown world, everybody. That is the video. theduran.locals.com, and go to Alexander's channel, go to the Duran channel, and go to the Duran shop. 10% off. Use the code GOODDAY. Look for us on Locals, Rockfin, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, and Rumble. Rumble. All right, take care.